we spend a lot of time buying clothes all over the world, especially in the US and Europe. And, there's constant, we'll always look at the label and we'll always see this kind of made in India. So the idea of going and meeting the women who actually make those clothes for me was extremely interesting. So I came to India for a month with the idea of doing a photo project. Most of my work is on identity, cultural diversity. I do a lot of documentary photography and video art. I was interested in doing, finding a community of people that I could spend time with and photograph. So on my second day in India, we talked with an NGO about working on different subjects, and the subjects we kind of agreed on was to do a series of portraits of the woman who worked at his factory, which is a garment factory. So when I went to the factory the first day, I was really impressed because all these women are pretty much working in a garment factory. I remember just walking around the factory and seeing all these women dressed with all these colors, saris, flowers in their hair. I mean, when you come from outside, it's kind of incredible to see women just being so colorful and with these incredible intense faces. For me, they looked like they were going to a wedding and they're actually at work. I remember just walking in the factory and having just 300 women just looking at me and smiling. They were extremely curious about me and welcoming, and I think very excited to have someone from abroad coming and doing a project and being interested in them. So I wanted this project to be inclusive. I didn't want to come into the factory and walk around and do a casting and choose interesting women because they have a particular interesting face, or I didn't want to do that. I want to make sure that I respect who they are, what they do. So what we decided is that I will photograph every single person that works in that factory. I wanted to photograph Indian women, but I wanted to photograph them isolated from their environment. I really wanted to focus on them, their faces, their hands, their skin. I wanted to show them with a kind of a fashion lighting, with very strong lights. And I think the mobile studio is, in a way, to kind of cut with the cliche of showing their people in their environment. And so I chose to use the mobile studio for that project. I had each woman coming into the studio. I would show them where to stand. They'll go and stand, and then I ask them to look at me, which is the only thing I did. And it's interesting because, in a way, they all had this exact same behavior. They would come inside, stand on that mark, and just look straight, very serious, and look at me. One thing I could connect with was being a woman interacting with another woman. So when they would come in the studio, I would go and touch their hair, fix their clothes. It's kind of this little intimacy that I had with them, where I was actually touching them, made them smile and made them feel comfortable. Not being able to speak with words and understand each other, but just having that little intimacy between two women. Next time I'll do shopping, I'll always have that image of these women working and who they are and why they're there working.
Perfect. Yeah, now it looks iconic, And, ideally, this is the light for which your file is measured.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
When I take photos of people, it's important to me to give something in exchange. And this is why the idea of offering a framed photo to every woman that worked at the factory, actually every employee at the factory is going to get a framed photograph. I think for me it was very important because, the photos will probably be shown in an exhibition, probably be shown in a book. So I think it's important that these women feel like they've participated in it and get something also in return. I want to give a voice to these women And I want these photos to be printed almost life-size, because I want to feel that when we come into the exhibition that these people are alive, standing right in front of you and looking at you. I want to share that experience and really feel that these people are present. And these are the women who make the clothes we wear, and I want to go beyond just showing their faces, their hands, but I want to show who they are, what their lives is about. So I will come back to India and spend more time with these women. I would like to go to their homes and sit with them, eat their food, and just interact on a more intimate level.